Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 19th of November. So, what we got in store today, let's look at the risk events first. Let's just bring these into play. So risk events today, we have, well, we've already seen the consumer confidence coming out. Some figures are slightly better than others there. German PPI, Producers Price Index, 3.8%. It's really high. It puts pressure again on the ECB, but they seem to be just battling that, kicking that down the street. UK retail sales came out slightly better than expected. They're at 0.8 there, so good news for the pound. And public sector borrowing not so good at 18 billion, so higher than expected at 12.2. So there we are. That's where we are at the moment. That's not going to be a major mover, that public borrowing at the moment, but certainly retail sales would have been a positive move. Right, aside of that, then we've got Lagarde speaking at 8:30. Now she's just due to the opening remarks at the Frankfurt European Banking Congress. She could say something there that creates some volatility, so I'd be a bit wary. We got Weidman speaking at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Yeah, Canadian core retail sales that may get the loonie moving. And then we've got the FOMC speakers 3:45, 5:15. So not a great deal of certainly not a great deal of high level data. The Treasury currency report is, I don't know why it's got such a high impact there. It has relatively low impact. So anyway, there we go. That's where we are. Not a great deal to watch out for aside of those speakers. Right. Looking at the markets then, starting off looking at the forex markets, euro dollar. Well, yesterday saw a continuation as expected. I had the feeling it was just going to curve around some more, and we're seeing that a little this morning. It's it's retraced at the moment back to its daily pivot. You'll see this on the, here we go, back to the daily pivot. Now is that it is the question, or is it going to break back up? It's a bit early to say pre 8 o'clock. It may just, I mean, it's been sitting basing out on that daily pivot for the last few hours. Yes, it might just knock on the door, break through it, but I would be positive. I'm being a bit positive on the euro for now, and sort of looking for a badly drawn line there, but looking maybe if it starts breaking above there, has some positive, some more upside. If it stays below here, well then the continuation of the original move may continue. Now I'm still looking. I'm still quite bearish on the euro overall in the bigger picture, but yeah, within every bear market you get a bounce and a decent correction at some point. So we'll see. Okay, pound's been a bit more positive. Yesterday was lesser movement there. It's got stuck in quite a tight range there yesterday, starting off okay a bit this morning. You can see it was quite choppy for large points of this week so far. Looking at this 4 hourly, has come down to the hourly, and you just see for hours and hours really not doing anything too much. Yesterday sideways, bit of up move, down move. You expect more weakness coming from this normally. Well, it did sell off, I guess, and well later pushing back up there. And again this morning, like the euro, it doesn't look particularly positive at the moment. It looks a little bit on the negative side. You come out though and you just think, well, there's still scope for further upside, and it'd be worth watching post 8 o'clock. All over its daily pivot, so it's ticked that box off. It's what it can do post 8 o'clock. It's not got a sort of an obvious break line. It's already been broken this morning in terms of trends from the highs. It has got a bit of a wedge pattern still formed in there. We could see this continue to the upside. It has been putting higher lows, higher highs in there generally, so it's still got that slight bias. Dollar yen, wherever this is going, who knows. Yesterday it started pushing back up again, carrying the road on the direction. At the moment it's not going with any sort of real momentum. It's sitting there chopping along, making it quite a difficult market to read as it with the others. The only thing is, on the smaller time frame here, maybe high lows, high highs. a change later gives it a target. Well, it's a very small target down towards its daily pivot, but maybe more than those prior lows. But at the moment it looks like it's heading back northwards, back upwards at this stage. Aussie dollar, not seen markets as quite so poor as these for a while. They're all pretty much the same. Normally you've got, oh yeah, bro, if that breaks out, I'm into it. At the moment, it's a bit iffy, and this is no different. We've seen the Aussie selling off. Maybe a breakdown of the lows here will get a continuation of the move that we've seen, but trying to do something at the moment. Commodities just really being hit at this stage. Commodity currencies, they're just a little bit weaker. New Zealand dollar being the exception, but the CAD, we've seen the Aussie, looking at the CAD here, also been, well, had been, yeah, so you've got to remember it's inverted. Effectively it's the dollar CAD. It has been continuing its road to the upside. Just looking at the shorter time, and a lot of the time it's just sitting in chop, and it's just where these markets are at the moment. And you just got, I mean, as I said many a time recently, often we're looking for swings as opposed to intraday trades. There are a few popping out there. They become less reliable when the market gets choppy like this. You get a little setup and it just doesn't have the range, so just bear that in mind. But for now, yep, Canadian dollars switching back a little bit here. Nothing major showing on it. Cross pairs I normally look at, euro yen. Just looking at this again, well, it had been sort of running. This is on a 60-minute time frame, by the way. Had been sitting in a half decent trend yesterday, pushing up there. Got daily pivot below. I'm just sort of looking at this at the moment, thinking, well, this is a bit more. Yeah, has a bit more potential. It breaks back later above the trend line here. It's got some scope back up to its R1 200 moving average. Continues rolling beyond these levels. Well, I mean, at these levels it might in turn give a bit of a reversal and give an opportunity to get back into that sort of move, but nothing too convincing at the moment. And as I say, it does look like it's on for those pivots, or that pivot. Right, looking at other markets, commodities, gold's just not being able to hang on to its gains, but it is, well, I say that it's holding up here, okay. So it is holding up, but yeah, as we look across the week from Monday, where my cursor is at the moment across, it's not had a very clear week. It had a bit of a rally, say rally, yep, rally, small rally, but it's sitting there range bound. Which way is it going? Well, I would still vote for the upside if I was looking at it like that, but at the moment staying out. Again here, gold's a funny old one, and it can suddenly start getting a bit of a move on and a switch, and you can get some, you know, a couple of moves like this sort of bar here, and it may just break through this trend line to the upside. And at the moment, as I say, I still favour the upside on gold, whereas on oil I'm a bit more mixed. And it's oil yesterday slipped down, made a new near-term low. It is out of its wedgy sort of pattern it was sitting in there now, but trying its best to get climb back up. At the moment, I'm sort of looking at this, and if it was later in the day, I'd be looking at the break to the downside. Badly drawn, but you can see what I mean. Just looking at this trend line, sort of running across the lows here, would be looking at that, because that's where it's pointing at the moment. Lower highs, lower lows at this stage. Has it got a lot more downside? I don't know, is the answer immediately. I think it's that I can't see them pumping massive amounts at the moment. OPEC is staying pretty firm, despite America trying to put pressure on OPEC to pump more. The demand's still there. It's coming into winter. It's got all the makings for possibly more upside, but there is the production capacity there if necessary. Anyway, so there we are. Looking a bit softer on this 4-hour picture, and well, okay, yes, we've had some movements around here. New contract coming through the readjustments. Nothing. Yeah, nothing on the hourly to show me too much more than we're looking at the 4 hourly for now. Right, looking at the other markets, it's just bring this in. I just wanted to look at the yields. Yields are still sitting there quite high, nearly 1.6. This is sort of dollar positive, this sort of note, just to bear that in mind as well. Whilst the yields are doing that, it's affecting the other markets. Time is 8:01. Good, I can run through these quickly. So overnight then, well, just consolidation keeps going in that 300 index, Hong Kong 300 index CSI. Really, I'm still pessimistic on it, but well, if it were to break the 100 MA that's shown on this chart here in blue, I might change sign because that or sides, because it would look more positive then. But at the moment, it's, to me, I'm still looking at potential downside there. The Nikkei over through the Asian session there, it's really done very little. It's sort of still sitting here, still an erring on the bullish side, but not so obvious in terms of its movements. As ever, it's all over the place. It's a cash market I'm showing you here, and there's lots of gaps all over the place, but got the potential for further upside there. FTSE took a hammering yesterday, continued selling off. We saw the pound sort of continue its recovery. The two sort of negatively correlated, so that's what generally often happens. Seeing the pound just coming back a little bit at the moment, and you're seeing the FTSE pushing up. Now they can run together, but often they're as I say, negatively correlated. But we're seeing a bit of positivity coming through on the open here, and the DAX and the CAC are both also continuing to run to the upside there. So positive through the indices from Asia through to the European Open, and the US futures here making new highs on the S&Ps. I nearly put the bet on it yesterday. Goodness, it's almost a guarantee, it seems, that it will be putting a new high in at some point within a few days, and there it is. Nasdaq, should I short it? Yeah, I keep getting not when it's doing this, and it's very, very risky as it's sitting there at this stage. And the Dow Jones, a bit better today. It was the weaker of them. I said yesterday it broken the low there. It did come off yesterday, but recovered later. I'm looking at it at the moment, and it's sort of getting a bit of a good start to the day at the moment, and looking potentially more positive. But certainly the S&Ps and Nasdaq look positive, and well, obviously making new highs. Can't be much more positive than that. Okay, finally, let's just quickly look at the crypto markets. What's happening here? And well, it's not good news at the moment for Bitcoin holders. It's sliding south still. As I said, to me, I'm thinking of where would a good buy point be, and maybe it starts coming in and you get some decent support. It's around about that 52.879 sort of area, 80, somewhere in that region, where that 100 and the prior highs are, may just come through as a decent support point, and that could be a target point for those that are short. So just watch for that. Did try yesterday doing some things, but just rolled back over. Ethereum holding up a little bit better, but still yesterday, as I say, sold off. It's into support at the moment. The prior highs here, it's just sitting in that, and that may be why it's catching the bounce a little bit earlier. But a break of that level then brings us back down towards the 100 as well, and the prior highs over here. So we've got a combination. Ripple, again, looking soft. I'd stay clear of anyway of that. Well, I'll say anyway, it's looking more bearish than anything else at this stage. It does look the softest. Okay, that's pretty much it. Do I think I will get back to 75? I don't know, is the answer with these. Do I think it will get back to 75? I think you've got to be a bit careful. We discussed it in a trading room yesterday with some of the targets. There's a couple of people that were short, or yesterday or the day before, I can't remember now. But we're discussing, it has put lower highs in here on oil. It has the potential to come off some more, and yeah, I suppose 75 is not that far away. It's got some support at that level. Um, yes, it's possible, but seeing what it's doing at the moment, it's just looking at a little bit more positive again. And as I say, I'm just sort of wary. They've switched switched the contract on here. By the looks of things, just wary that we just might get the push back up again. It may have just done an ABC correction and be pushing up there. So break of these levels, I would be a bit more sort of pessimistic on the downside at the moment. As I say, I think there's too many factors that could push it back up at this stage. Okay, I can't answer so many questions here. Okay, I'll just answer the Bitcoin one. About Bitcoin at 52, is it still worthy of buying? I think for me, whenever I see a market that you sort of, if you have your analysis on you think, well, it's a decent bullish market, it's got some potential, you've just got to be looking at the right sort of areas. And then for me, just waiting. Yeah, I'm saying this area looks like it's got some decent support. Well, make sure the support comes in. If it shows some support and starts giving me some a sign of a bounce, then I think that would look more positive, and you'll see more buyers come in. It's a bit self-fulfilling. When it starts happening at a sort of a key level, you'll get other traders coming in at the same sort of time. So there we are. Right, I've got to go. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you soon. Take care. Bye for now. You're welcome. You okay? You ready?